Welcome to my Return to Arkham series. This will be a series to cover every single minifigure in the new D2C modular Arkham Asylum set. I will be giving you all my upgrades and improvements to the current minifigure lineup to make this a perfect set. This is Return to Arkham. Today we are starting with Batman. Now this figure, he's okay. He's not the perfect version of Batman for this set, but there is simple ways you can upgrade him. Now, the goal of this series isn't to completely replace a figure. It's to still keep the heart of what this set was and the general design ideas in the same spot while upgrading these figures. Starting out, I will be adding a regular cape to this Batman. Now that I switched out the cape, there's a few places you can go. Personally, I don't like his original face. The Shang-Chi face just doesn't fit with me. So I think I'm going to add this face from the 2023 Polybag Michael Keaton figure. Now that we got that on there, there's only one simple thing to fix. How plain his legs are. Now, there's a few different ways you could go about it. You could take the legs from that Catwoman figure, they've also been seen on Black Widow. And there's one figure I think has a very perfect design to match that updated torso print. That being the 2023 Mandalorian Season 3 Moff Gideon figure, and we're going to take his legs. And here they are on the figure. Let me know what you think of this upgrade below, and I'll be back next time with Robin. We are focusing on this Damian Wayne figure. Now, this figure is basically perfect. He's absolutely amazing, little to no issue. The only thing you could really do is change the hairpiece. So currently, I'm going between this hairpiece, the Superman hair. I think that could be a good substitution. Looks a little bit more accurate because it's not that tall and spiky. It's more so just a little spike-ish. Another good option, this T'Challa Star-Lord hair. Now, I don't currently have that piece in my collection, so it's only just based off other Damian Wayne customs I've seen in the past. It works really well for his character, and I think it would look really good on here. Another alternative addition, which I do not own the part of currently, is the Lego Ninjago movie Lloyd sword of his little chain thing on the bottom. Overall, I think this is a basically perfect figure with little to no issues in my opinion. Maybe there could be some arm prints that would make it look a little more detailed, but the design from the comics does not really need much changing here. I mean, it's pretty simple, but that's really all I got for you guys today. I'll see you in the next one, where we're upgrading Batwing. And today we're looking at Batwing. Now, this figure is pretty solid by default. The only part where it really lacks is those wings. Now, the only real option I could really see as being a upgrade in any way is getting those 2012 to 2017 Batman widespread wings. You could find it in the 2013 Arkham, or in this small 2017 Lego Batman movie set. The piece doesn't cost that much, but I don't own it. I think this would be a perfect piece, and the only real upgrade you need. But for me, there's something else I don't really like about this guy. I think this face print is just simply terrible. Now for this, I got two options I'm gonna try. Both are coincidentally sacrifices from the Spider-Verse minifigure series. First, I'm trying the Miles head from the regular Miles. I really do like this one. The angry expression just makes it better. I wasn't a fan of the scared face or the smiling face on the regular head, so I think this is just a much needed upgrade. And for the second face, we got the Prowler Miles head. And I think this one might be the winner for me. I don't really see Batwing as a super young character. All the comic panels I've seen of this guy, he just doesn't look super young. So I think the cheekbones on this face just add a little age to him. I know he's not super old, but it makes him look more mature and less like a small child like Damian Wayne should be. And here's a bonus idea for the full masked on version. It's just a plain black head. I think it just makes him look a little bit cooler. But that's just my opinion. Let me know if you guys have any other upgrade ideas for this guy. And we're upgrading Batwoman. Now for this figure, there's a few things I need to change. I'd like to give her some boots, but with that, it brings me a limited amount of options. Now, I don't have the upgraded suit Spider-Man figure anymore, so I can't use those legs. So, I'll have to use these. Now, these are the integrated suit Spider-Man legs. I'm going to try them out real quick. Here she is. I think they look pretty good. It's just the gold on there doesn't really work for me, so I'm gonna try to find some arms that also add some gold. Here she is upgraded. I added the Shadow, the Hedgehog arms, so we get some red and gold with black there. I think it looks pretty good. But now let's upgrade that cape. I got this cape from Cape Store Minifigs, so let's test it out. Okay, now this is peak. All those extra details on the arms and legs really help out. And that cape, while not being the perfect red, it's a tidbit darker. I think it looks really good and is a pretty solid upgrade. You guys can let me know what you think below, or if you have any other upgrade ideas, but that's all I got for you guys. And we're looking at Catwoman. Now this figure's pretty good. There isn't much you can really do to upgrade her, but I'm just going to try a few things. For my first idea, I went with the Black Widow arms from the newer Avengers sets. I think they look pretty good. It makes the legs work better. But, you know, if you want to go with a little less detailed legs, a little less out there legs, because the legs don't really match what the torso looks like, I'll give you an option. Here's Catwoman with plain black legs. Now, I know plain and less printing isn't really, like, what people would usually want. But low-key, I think this is a figure where less is more, and this could be a really good Catwoman if they just didn't have all the straps on the legs. Now, this is an upgrade I didn't really think would work. You know, it has the S.H.I.E.L.D. logos on there, so it's not absolutely perfect. But I think it does add a good bit of detail that really balances out the legs and the torso with that extra print on the arms. Overall, I just think it makes it a much better figure. And it just makes it a much better figure and probably the definitive Catwoman. Let me know if you guys have any other arm ideas or leg ideas that you could see working. They were upgrading the Penguin. Now for this figure, I'm just going to be trying some of the Penguin's other minifigure torsos and everything on them just to see how they look. Here he is with like the 2020 body. I don't think it's like the best. I'm going to try it without the fur. Okay, I think this one's pretty good without the fur. The fur didn't really fit this suit, but we're going to try a few more bodies still. Here's the 2012 body, which I do think looks a little bit better, especially for this face print. I think the 2020 version fit a certain idea with its face print that just can't really work with other ones. And then here he is with the 2013 Penguin torso alongside a tan version of his fur piece and some black legs. I think this is probably the best choice. It fits the head the most. All the other ones looked like a little too comic-y, which is a little crazy, especially the 2020 version. I think this torso fits the face the best. You know, the 2012 one worked. It was just, you know, chill enough, had a pop of color there. But something just about the brown works really well. Another way you could fix this is upgrading that fur piece to the reddish-brown version. Overall, I think it's a pretty good upgrade. Let me know if you have any other upgrade ideas in the comments below. And today we're upgrading Bane. Now this one's a little more difficult for me. The optimal upgrade is the 2012 Bane torso, but unfortunately I've lost that one from my collection. So today we're kind of getting like an alternate look. For me, my choices were a little rough. I think the best torso I could pick is this Thor torso from the 2012 Avengers. I took the arms off of a Lego Sonic figure right here. He's not looking too good, but I gave him some black hands and everything, and we'll just see how it looks. I mean, let's be honest here. It looks pretty good. Better than I thought? Yes. Is there some designs that might work a little better? Maybe. But for now, we're going with this torso. But you might be asking, what about the legs? You know, the orange doesn't really look good. I think there's like a few options that you could really go with. First, let's try these Black Widow legs. Here he is with the Black Widow legs. I really like these, but there's like something I want to try with just making him a little bit taller. Here's Bane with the Dr. Robotnik legs. Honestly, it's not terrible. Does he look a little elongated? Maybe. I think this is probably the best way you could get him to make his Venomized version in terms of keeping it like this minifigure size, because the only big fig Bane we got is the one from the Lego Batman movie, and that's a way too expensive. But I think this looks pretty good. The silver on the legs matches like the belt buckle and everything, and it does just enough for me. But you can let me know what you guys think of this figure down below. 8, and we're upgrading Scarecrow. Now for this figure, I'm going to try to keep him in this jumpsuit, just so we have some people in jumpsuits still. If you want to upgrade him completely, you can get that Lego Batman movie Scarecrow figure and put this head on there. But at that point, you're kind of just swapping the face, and that doesn't really keep like the soul of this set together. So here, I'm just going to be upgrading it with some hood pieces. Optimally, you could use like an old wizard hat or the Scarecrow hat, but I don't have that on me at the moment. So we're just take a look at these hood options. I wanted to try something with the orange, so I went with the new Hobgoblin hood. It doesn't really work because it makes no sense, but I think it's just a little funny option. Here he is with the classic hood. I don't think this one looks too bad. It's just a little odd. I think there's one better though. Now this is definitely the best hood option. This is basically like Arkham Scarecrow. I think it fits the vibe, and it fits the face print really well. So I think this will be my optimal choice in what we're going for. Now I'm just going to give him his pitchfork. Here's Scarecrow all complete. Overall, I think he ended up pretty good. You guys can let me know what you think of him down below. And today we are customizing our lizard figure. Starting with, this is literally like the most simple, best upgrades that you could do. You just take the figure's torso from the 2024 lizard, and bam, this is just like a perfect figure now. And if you don't like these pants, you can just switch it to this. Now we just got some like dark blue pants, harkening back to that original figure from the 2000s Batman sets. Overall, I just think this figure was in such need of an upgrade, and let alone just that torso makes this guy like infinitely better. Some alternate pieces you could use is these Chima legs or this like orc legs from a minifigure series. But that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you liked this upgrade. Let me know if you got any more ideas for Killer Croc down below. Upgrade and Harley Quinn. Now this figure, it's just bad. It's full of crappy reuse after reuse, and I just don't rock with it at all. So I'm gonna just pretty much tear it apart and just show up a whole new Harley Quinn. Starting out light, we just got a mask swap. Went from the hairpiece to the classic jester hat. I think this is already a bit of an improvement, but I feel like we could do more. Now this is probably my optimal version. It uses the 2020 Harley Quinn torso with both red arms, you know, with white hands and everything. Then I took the Lego Batman movie Harley Quinn legs, and then I flipped the skates. Now on the official figure, the skates are on the opposite sides, but I flipped them so that it would be opposite of the bottom part of the legs. I think it works really well. The jester hat works pretty good with this version. I'm not a fan of modern Harley Quinn at all, and I think this is a good mix between her more modern outfits while also feeling more like classic Harley Quinn. The hammer looks really good with her, and I would have tried a different hairpiece, like the 2020 version without print, but I don't have that hairpiece, so I wasn't able to do that. Now I'm just going to try one more thing. Much better. Perfect. Just kidding, I just want to see how this head and helmet piece looked on this the Arkham jumpsuit, and I don't really like it. I thought I would. Doesn't work too well. Probably gonna stick with this as my optimal version for now, but you can let me know what you guys think of this upgrade and what upgrades you'd like to see down below. And I'm just gonna try one thing. Now Lego went more so with the modern Joker aesthetic of, you know, like the weirder hair, not so classic. This feels more New 52 rebirthy kind of time period. And there's kind of one suit that I think could capture that modern Joker, less, you know, crazy aesthetic. And it's got to be this lowrider Joker suit. Let's try it on. I think this was the right choice here. It looks like it fits. It fits this character's hairpiece and headpiece pretty well. And I think this would look good next to my Harley. I do think that these two have a similar aesthetic now and look like they work together, instead of it being like Suicide Squad Harley Quinn or like TV show Harley Quinn with a New 52 Joker. I'm not a fan of that look. Overall, I think this is a pretty good upgrade. Let me know if you have any other ideas for upgrades for this guy. I do think that the best version of this would optimally be this headpiece with the Jack Nicholson Joker hairpiece, which is the same face print, of course. And then you'd get the 2024 or 3 Joker suit That is a like medium lavender suit. Looks perfect, classic Joker, and would be the optimal choice for me. We're upgrading Poison Ivy. Now, there isn't much upgrading you can really do with this figure whatsoever. So I'm really just going to be trying alternate hair pieces. I'd go with this Mary Jane hair piece. It feels like 2012 Lego Batman Poison Ivy, and I'd use that hair piece if I had it. I don't have it anymore. I've lost it. But I think this one works pretty good. I think the little leaf details in the other one would make it just a bit better, but it's not a bad choice. For another option, you could use the Firestar hair from the Daily Bugle figure, and I think this one also works really well. Maybe better than Alpha, but I think they're all pretty equal. But there's just something about like the widespread on both sides that I really like, and you can't really go wrong. All of them have their own pros and cons. It's kind of just whatever you want to personally go for across your whole collection and the kind of vibe you're presenting there. Now, there's only one other hair piece that I think could work pretty solidly, which is the Lego Batman movie version, but I don't have that hair, so I can't really give you anything to compare that to. But that's really the only upgrade this figure needs. Like, let's be honest, this is an amazing figure. The quality's crazy all around. The only improvement Lego could have done is, like, dual molded legs, which isn't really even that necessary for this figure. But overall, let me know what you guys think of this figure down below. Any other upgrades that you think would work with her. But today, we're upgrading Mr. Freeze. Now, for this guy, he looks pretty good. I think there's ways to improve him, though. For our first upgrade, I wanted to go more bulkier, so I chose the Paz Vizsla armor piece and broke the purist custom method by erasing the extra print with this electric eraser. This is a heavenly tool, man. It's so useful. Erases in a jiffy. Only took like the stuff off the shoulders and some of the stuff off the top there. It looks good, but I feel like there's something we could do for those legs. Now, there isn't many leg ideas that could work for him, so I had to break the purist method again. I took the Boba Fett mech armor sets, Boba Fett figure, and I erased the knee pads from him, and I think this works really well. It lines up pretty decently with the lines on the torso. Just a little gap there, but I can forgive it. I think it looks pretty solid still. It's not too shabby. Add some detail to the toes and the top half of the legs, and honestly, it just makes them look a little bit more detailed while keeping that same kind of design here, you know. And if you want to completely change up the design, I have another idea for you. It uses the same armor, head, and helmet with that same past figure and same customization and everything, but I used the eraser method again on the CMF Marvel Studios CMF Series 1 Captain America legs. It gives you some really nice light bluish gray and dark blue dual molded legs, and I added those same hands to the arms of the Lego Batman movie Mr. Freeze torso, and I think this one looks really solid. This might be my favorite custom I've worked on, like, point blank period. Like, it just looks very solid. The design I really rock with, and it's probably my definitive look for the character. To be honest, for Riddler, I couldn't really find a way to upgrade him. There's not a lot of bright green parts that could really upgrade him anyway. There's dual molded legs with the regular green on the bottom and bright green on top, but I don't see that as much of an upgrade that's worthwhile. The same really goes for the two guards. There's not really much you could really do to upgrade them. I mean, maybe you can make them specific guards, but like they're just kind of generics that are meant to fill out your Arkham.